Hello everybody, welcome to the second video of Monday. This one is going to be going over the abilities of Ikaris. Now, at the point of this video going live, and I don't know because I'm recording this at 3:30 p.m. UK time, and I think with the embargo of this going out, I think daylight saving time, this gets to go out at 5 p.m. So got to get this out as quickly as possible. You've probably seen the update, but let's have a look at what's going on with the champion. So right off the bat, what has he got? Well, he's immune to Incinerate, Shock, and reduces the damage of poison by 20%. That's not too bad. All basic attacks are energy damage. Helpful. Not helpful in certain circumstances where he's powering people. Bishop as a counter. Possibly. We'll have to see. Inflicts a power detonation debuff lasting 15 seconds. If power detonation expires, naturally the opponent receives a burst of 200% energy damage. If the opponent launches a special attack, this debuff is removed with no penalty, cooldown by 10 seconds. Might be taking Bishop against this. Getting your opponent to hit with a medium, then forcing them to throw a special attack on your timetable. You know it's coming, or they will take damage. So when struck with a medium, so light attacks to avoid this. Okay. Incinerates will deal 223.8 as energy damage over 22 seconds. Incinerate debuffs also remove perfect block chance and decrease block penetration by 50% while active. Landing a heavy attack causes an Incinerate debuff for 8 seconds. This is going to be like an interesting option and quick champion to quick build to Incinerate. It's going to be a nice little kind of addition, especially if you've got a thing like what's the debuff one? It's it's going to annoy me now because it's buffed up, and the opposite of that is can't think. Okay, I'll probably come to mind. Diss tracks. There we go. So upkeep. How close to the sun you get, falling up, blah blah blah. You can pause and refresh those incinerates with a heavy or an SP1. Okay, helpful rotations. Helpful when it comes to consistently keeping things on board. Annoying. There's nothing like when it comes to like the freezing abilities, but I guess that wouldn't be. I'm looking for an option for what is it, like energy absorption. Whatever it is, like for Incinerate, it's different. It's just fun to like have different options against previous content, especially Act 6 and some Act 7 stuff as well. So if you're listening or watching, go back to some of your old content in Act 6 and find some extra counters for it. And say that there's limited. It's just a case of having more options for players, because not everybody gets every single champion in this game. Energize. Gain 1+ energize whenever when either champion strike or hits into a block with a light attack. Each energized buff lasts indefinitely until consumed, while one or more energized buffs are active. Gain plus 70% combat rate. So this is like that Hyperion thing we were talking about, the idea of getting to power quickly. So yeah, cool. While +7 energized buffs are active, whenever Ikaris power is reduced for any reason, inflict the opponent with a burst of X damage, because depending on stuff, no effect against mystics. I'm kind of thinking like whether or not this is going to be, any mystic's going to be great to take this down. Those that maybe have some Incinerate immunity as well would be relatively helpful. But just depends, because like rotation wise, as long as you don't do what it says there when struck with medium, as long as you don't struck it with a medium, you do like 5-hit combos ending in a light attack, 5-hit combos in light, so you kind of like have to go like parry, light, just kind of like that, just spam like parry, light. It could be the best kind of like method to taking him down without any kind of issue. Or what we talked about, the idea of kind of like using Bishop as a power up and then kind of like smacking through the enemy. It's an option, people. Options. But you won't be able to get the Incinerate that you normally get with Bishop, which is his awakened ability. It's one of them, but especially for like damage rotation, build up of energy, and bursting damage and stuff like that, then you might have the option of that. But all looks good. Landing a heavy attack inflicts the opponent with Incinerate debuff equal to 50% of energized buff and removes one energy buff. So that's cool. I guess it's kind of like an option to get Incinerates, which is good. I'm not saying it's dramatically unique, because this does very much feel like Hyperion. It's just the rotations seem a bit different than it would be Hyperion. There's no fury buffs. All of the damage really comes from debuff effects. It's not buffs. There are buffs, but they don't positively affect the champion on its damage output. It's all on that burst energy, it's all on that energy damage, it's all on the incinerate damage. Those are where the kind of like the key things with the energy damage comes in. Let's have a look at the specials now. Special 1 inflicts 3 incinerate debuffs for each hit and refreshes all incinerate debuffs. Great, that's what the damage is. Not so great if the champion is incinerate immune. If Ikaris has 10 energized buffs, gain a protection. I do not, before I even read down, I'm going to call it and say the signature ability is all about if enemies don't have if they're incinerate immune, they take a different type of damage. Just calling it now because I haven't read it yet. Gain a protection buff for 30 seconds, preventing Ikaris from taking more than 5% of max health from a single hit, excluding from damage on special 3. Oh, that's nasty. Not nice. The protection buff. Gonna have to watch out for that. As it's a buff, it means I can imagine it can be nullified. If Ikaris has less than 10 energy buffs, gain an armor buff, increasing armor rating by plus 900 for 30 seconds. Again, buffs. Ooh, I'm thinking Magic to kind of like really kind of have a bit of fun here. Also, maybe something, yeah, that like Morning Star that punishes off that SP2. Get lots of buffs, punish the buffs. Pick your buff for the situation, armor or protection, or juggle both. Okay. Then we've got SP2. Double all incinerate debuffs. If you have no incinerate debuffs on the opponent, apply 10. Ooh, nice. If Ikaris has 10 energized buffs, gain unblockable buff for 8 seconds of special activation. If Ikaris has less than 10 energized buffs, gain 3,150 physical resistance buff for 30 seconds. Okay, cool. When you do want to double up, I'll let you decide. If you will probably end up doing equal use of SP1 and SP2 before you do your Adios SP3. Okay. And the SP3 is true damage attack that apply. You get true damage attack that applies 1,241 attack rating per unique buff currently on Ikaris. Oh god, that's good, isn't it? Okay, I take that back then. I didn't read further on, but it's like, yeah, if you, as long as you've got loads of buffs, you're able to do a lot of damage if you've got that SP3 up. Each incinerate debuff on the opponent grants 372.3 attack rating for attack, consuming all but 10 incinerates. Damn. Okay. And it says here, who can give you more buffs? You can. Squeeze that bonus damage out with as many incinerates as you can upkeep. Damn, that could be good. Ooh. Do you know what? I'm impressed with this. This is good. And in the signature ability, every time an opponent tries to apply an effect on Ikaris that he is immune to, inflict an energy vulnerability passive, decreasing energy resistance by 899 for 10 seconds. Okay, this works on immunity gains from outside sources, like quest nodes. Okay, this does look very impressive. I must admit. You know, on paper, it does look like it can burst a lot of damage. It looks like it's the SP3 rotations that seem to be important. Creating the energized, and that's the cycle, isn't it? The cycle is energized buffs build power. You want to build up as many buffs as possible going into an SP3. Fire SP3, big damage. When you and then you can, like, if you've got loads of incinerates on, you can then build the flames and also build back the damage as well, or ramp up the damage. So this looks incredible and is actually very exciting. I'm excited for this champion based on what I have read right here. So yeah, looking forward to this. Should be fun. Let's have a quick look at the synergies now, and you got Lords of Energy, which helps Cyclops gain a bit of Fury buff, and that's really it. Whenever it says an armor break. Ikaris gains a 1 bonus base stack of incinerates. Good. Also with Unstoppable Colossus, who gets a 50% Fury buff for 15 seconds. Nice, I've got 6-star. I'll try that out. But Ikaris gains a 10% duration of incinerate debuffs when paired with Unstoppable Colossus. So that could be fun. I'm not going to say it's going to be groundbreaking, but this may be like a solo use champion. Ikaris with Iron Man, Doctor Strange, and Incinerate's debuff expires naturally or purified. Apply 30% of the amount back to the opponent with full durations. Okay. And Doctor Strange, upon weakness debuff expiring, gain a protection buff for 10 seconds. And Iron Man inflict an Incinerate debuff On the opponent, dealing 100% of attack rating of energy damage per second. I don't know if that's the OG run. Probably is. Yeah. It just looks good. This champion does look like, on paper, what I'm reading so far, effective. Okay? So, you know, Hyperion, but maybe going a little bit further. Not about the buffs in the kind of easy rotation and grab sense, but as we said, with the circle, it's a case of like a build to the SB3 and then bash in as long as you've got a load of buffs. And also if you're rotating around with those incinerates. This champion doesn't seem to have like a huge amount of utility, but definitely has some key things when it comes to being immune to incinerate, shocks, and reduces down damage from poisons. So there's something there. And if it's a case like how a hit versus an energy damage hit is going to be important, could be cool against some interaction. So I think this is going to be all damage but very little utility, but we'll see when we get to test out the champion. And that's been a video. Thank you indeed very much for watching. What are your thoughts? Put it in the comment section down below, and I'll see you in the next video where we look at Xerxes.